Shai, you had 20 in the first, and I just wonder if there's any point in time in that first quarter that you feel like you have every part of your offensive game in balance and kind of in rhythm. Are you sensing that, or are you just playing the play in front of you?
Yeah, just playing. I tried to be a little bit more aggressive once we kind of got out to that start. They kind of blitzed us a little bit. I tried to be aggressive, be assertive, not kind of let the game get away from me. It kind of did a little bit in Brooklyn. They got out to a really, really big lead. I tried to keep it away from that. I tried to just put my fingerprint on the game.
Dub, you have a lot of responsibility in not just getting your offense going, but everybody else's too during large stretches of the game. How do you feel like you helped kind of facilitate some of what we saw? I mean, some great interchanges between Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein, between a lot of different guys while you were out there on the floor. In terms of setting up the offense, getting you guys into sets and that kind of thing.
Yeah. The exchange you're talking about, we were in a very good flow offensively and defensively, and that's what makes us dangerous. So a lot of those is just when Chet has it going or we're just kind of in that state, you try to just be in the right spots at the right time offensively and be ready for, I don't want to say your moment to make it seem like it's a big thing, but you're just kind of ready for whatever the offense brings. And then just my responsibility as a player to do that, something I'm kind of used to. I enjoy doing it, and we have a good group of guys to do it with. I think Queso and K-Rich during that second quarter stretch were really good. Defensively, they got us going, so it's not, I wouldn't say it's all about me setting it up. It's just our team is very good, so it makes it easy to play off them.
So, Shai, most guys never score 50 ever, and you've scored 54 times in the last 7 weeks. When you hit numbers like that, milestones like that, does it still excite you, or has it become, I can't imagine it being a routine, but have you kind of gotten used to things like that happening?
A little bit. It becomes, it's not, you can say it's not as exciting as the first one, but it's more like getting lost in the process of just competing and playing the game you love, and then wherever that takes you, it takes you. It's gonna be different for everybody. Not everyone could be Michael Jordan, you know what I mean? No matter how much work you put in, there has to be a Michael Jordan, and I'm just getting lost in the process and having fun with it, whether it's 50, whether it's 27, whether it's 17. As long as we win, I have fun with it. It's a fun night.
Yeah, Shai, long question, so bear with me, but this is another night where your name is next to some all-time greats, and anytime you're asked about being next to those all-time greats and how you feel about it, you mentioned how you don't feel like you're there yet because you haven't won, but there have been quite a few guys over the history of the game, LeBron, Jerry West, Shaq, KD, that have been seen as all-time greats before they've won, and I assume you mean by win, you mean a championship. So what is it that makes you feel like you have to win a championship before you're seen as an all-time great?
That's a good question.
For me, I just think you play the game to win. You don't play the game to score a bunch of points. You don't play the game to get a bunch of rebounds or assists or steals, for stats. You don't play for anything besides to win. And that's what it's all about. And, obviously, the stats and the individual stuff puts you in another stratosphere, but to get over that hump and to be, regarded as one of the better players to ever play, you have to win, because if you don't win, then it's all for nothing. That's just how I see it. And that's how I see it in golf. That's how I see it in football. That's how I see it in competition, period. And winning is the be-all, end-all for me.
Shai, you're shooting over 40% from three over the last month. What's kind of gone into that process of getting better from beyond the arc?
Work ethic, shooting shots I'm comfortable with, but ultimately just trusting the work through the misses and the makes, just knowing that if I take a shot I'm comfortable shooting the right time in the game, then it's a good shot. You live with the result. It's part of the game. It's going to be ups and downs, makes and misses, but you put in the work and you'll be rewarded.
How you guys viewing the rest of this regular season? You got a sizable lead in the Western Conference, so obviously you want to win the games, but how are you approaching each game in terms of just in terms of getting ready for the playoffs, things of that nature? And both of you get this too, by the way.
Yeah, we just have to make sure we're getting better. Like that's what's going to come down to, making sure we're getting closer to the best version of ourselves towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. And that's when you want to be the best version of yourselves, and that's what we're focused on. The process more so than the outcome, I would say.
Mark calls it sharpening our blade. You're not playing. This is like kind of like the part of the year where we're getting close to it, where like teams start to like sit certain guys and do that whole thing. So you're not really playing against the other team like we're playing against ourselves, and we're trying to like keep getting better, not based on who we're playing, but just kind of based on our standards. So that's what we try and do when we go out there.
Shai, last year you guys were one of the best turnover-generating teams in the league. Hasn't changed. Again, this year it's the same, but it seems like it's gone up a level. Why do you think that is such an important part of, I guess, your guys' scheme defensively and just overall, I guess, philosophy to sort of win games?
I think we know defensively, like to win games, you have to play defense. You have to stop the team more than they stop you. And the better we're at it, the more chances we give ourselves every night to win games and ultimately be a better team. And then we also have a bunch of guys that are just naturally good at defense, naturally know where to be, naturally have good hands, and are smart basketball players, and it clicks for us.
And then for Dub, a big topic last season was rebounding, and you guys obviously get Hardenstein this year, which has really, really helped. But at the same time, there's been almost more small ball units than ever, just with some of the injuries. And you guys have gone up as a rebounding team. What do you think is attributed to that?
Taking pride in it. I think we've had a lot of teams that know we're small, so they send a lot of guys to the glass. So we've had like a lot of reps doing it, and it's one of those things that like over time you just get better at it. And I think we've done a good job of offensive rebounding as well, setting more guys to the glass, getting us more possessions, and yeah.
Dub, to start the second and fourth, you guys are seeing you and Hardenstein out there really facilitating a lot of offense. Can you speak to his passing ability and what it gives those units specifically, and also how's your wrist?
Okay. Hart is a very skilled big man. I think that was one of the things when we first got him that went under the radar with him. I think everybody was kind of looking at like rebounding and size, but he's an extremely good passer, sees the floor well. So anytime you have a big that's smart and knows what he's good at and kind of buys into the team, it makes it easy to play off him. So we'll kind of continue to go to him for certain things. And, yeah, he's been really good for us there. And then my wrist is cool. It hurts right now. It's a little ashy, but I'm straight.
Shai, obviously 51 points is going to jump off the stat sheet, but on a night like this where you guys don't get off to your best start, just how invaluable was the guys off the bench, guys like Ken Rich and guys like Kaysen, to help provide that spark?
Yeah, it's a team sport, and whenever your number's called, you should be ready. We have a team full of guys that do so. No matter what the situation is, they come in, they make plays, and they're a big part of the reason why we have the record and why we are the team we are. And to have this record and this success, you have to have a team full of guys that are on the same page and that affect the game at a high level, and we do.
Yeah, Dub, not to have you disagree with what Shai said about the all-time great stuff, but I mean, when you see his name next to Kobe, Jordan, Wilt, things that only a select few guys have done, like what are your thoughts on what he's doing and how he's approaching that all-time great status? Because it's kind of sometimes hard to see or realize a guy is playing at an all-time great level while they're doing it. Is kind of, you take that approach after the season or whatever. Like, so what are your thoughts on his season or his last few seasons?
It's amazing. It's fun to be a part of it. I feel like I celebrate it probably more than he does, or at least get more excited than he does about it. But it's always cool when you have people that are close to you do well. That's the kind of person I am. I feel like it's fun watching him reach that, and it kind of gives like me something to shoot for and play off of. And yeah, when you have a blueprint that close, it's good to like watch and learn and see what he's doing. And something that like I don't take for granted. Obviously he doesn't as he pushes towards it, but it's very cool to watch that transpire in real time because not everybody gets the opportunity to be around somebody like that. And like he said, not everybody gets the opportunity to even have those numbers. So it's pretty cool to be around.
And then Dub, and then Mark mentioned some of the double big lineups and sort of learning that, but I wanted to ask for your perspective because of some of the small ball lineups. Has it helped you at all just energy-wise offensively now that you don't have that, I guess, responsibility or load defensively guarding guys like that?
You're saying if we go double big?
Just whether you're going double big or you can put one at all times on the floor.
I don't know. I honestly expend so much energy and I try and play really hard all the time that I try not to even like no matter what the lineup is, I try and like go all out with whatever I'm doing. So I mean it's nice that we have a double big lineup. I'm not getting posted up 90% of the game, so I enjoy that, but I'm just kind of ready to give 100% with whatever lineup we go, and I feel like that's the best version of whatever our team is.
Thank you guys. That's a wrap.